from your experience, is there any city in Japan, now that you brought it up, that is maybe more or easier, if that is, to start a company in, or is it kind of equally difficult?
I think it's difficult, but it's my thought is, even though I'm in Hokkaido, I would say probably Tokyo it's the most expensive, but it's the best. And the main reason for that is, I'll go into Osaka in a bit, but for Tokyo, just the amount of foreign founders, just the amount of people who've succeeded already, and where the venture capital is, like everything's in Tokyo. And when you do sales at corporations, so I have clients who are based in Osaka and other parts of Japan, and they have to come all the way to Tokyo to meet these big corporates in a lot of cases. And so I think Tokyo's the most expensive. I wouldn't say it's the easiest, but you have outside of, if money is not an issue, then come to Tokyo. If you need to be more careful with, let's say, your money, maybe a place like Sapporo or Fukuoka, where you can get rent cheaper, you can get good quality Japanese staff, or a good enough quality Japanese staff, and I would say decent access to foreigners. Probably Fukuoka more so than Sapporo, but that could work. And so I'd say, in terms of, I do want to compliment Kobe City. I found Kobe City the most pleasant to work with.
Interesting.
In terms of responded very quickly. We asked for help. Hey, could you promote our podcast on your page? I think they're probably the only city who did it. Everyone else turned us down. And just response speed. And I actually complimented Kobe. I'm like, wow, you guys respond so quickly, and you guys are so pleasant to deal with. Like, why? I actually asked them why, and they said, startups, we have to operate at the speed of startups. And so I was like, excellent.
Seems like a city that might be on the map relatively soon, right? Because it's quite young in the startup space. I haven't really heard of people founding in Kobe.
Kobe, yeah, not so much. I would say Kobe, if you have a health tech related, anything related to healthcare, health tech, and I've talked to other health tech founders, and they said Kobe was the most proactive. So a lot of cities, they have something that they're focused on. They have kind of a specialty. So Sapporo, I would say it's more agriculture and space is the two areas they're focused on. So if you have agricultural product, Hokkaido could be or space. Hokkaido is a good place to check out. Health tech, definitely Kobe is the most proactive. Fukuoka says fintech, but I haven't heard of. Maybe it's my awareness, but I'm not sure if there's any really huge success cases in Fukuoka. And also, one of the 500 global clients, I think with Shizuoka, and they offered him free, kind of like a small warehouse.
Wow.
And so it kind of, I would say there's no right answer for what's the best startup city. It's, you would have to listen to all the podcast episodes or ask me directly.
Based on what you want to do, there might be a better fit for you. But generally, a lot of the money is in Tokyo. And you also mentioned the importance of network, basically. A lot of successful founders already there, a lot of people that may help you, guide you, and clients, of course.
And I think Nagoya might have potentially, or Aichi Nagoya might be the most successful at this, maybe. But they made a collaboration with SoftBank to make Station AI to help AI startups. And I think that one seems very promising. But I'll say in general, all the startup cities, I think they're pretty weak at making introductions to corporations. So what I mean by that is they're very helpful in getting you setting up a company. Some of them provide nice subsidies. I think Hokkaido might provide up to 10 or 1 or 2 million yen. So that's a pretty good chunk of money to help you get established. I think Fukuoka give something similar, or they might pay like half the salary for like one employee, or like half the rent. So they offer pretty nice subsidies, but what the companies really need is sales.
So back to the main problem of getting your first clients.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, what you do, that's going to be the
So
number one goal for you to get
so
going.
the startup cities may not like me for saying this, but I don't think any of them have cracked the code for the most important thing, which is getting them their first sales, getting them established. So I think there's companies that maybe got a startup visa and, like maybe weren't able to renew. So like the startup visa, you have to renew it, I think, after 6 months up to like 1 year. And some companies don't renew or don't get renewed because they didn't get enough traction. And so I think it's one thing that for the listeners, for me saying, and hopefully this doesn't come to bite me with, let's say, the startup cities being angry at me, but it's they might present a rosier pitch or a more pleasant pitch, or easier than it seems, like, because the subsidies they give are actually really nice, but what you really need is sales, and getting that first client is the hardest part.
Be prepared and do some of your own research. Don't kind of rely fully on the cities to get you going, basically, is the takeaway.
Yeah, it's the cities are there to support you, which is the reason why they use the term, let's say, startup support city. So it's so I think sometimes I don't think the cities are good enough at communicating that, like how hard it's going to be. And so I think also founders, they don't understand the word of startup support city. And so I think so that's one thing to clarify. So on the city's end, it's, of course, they don't want to shoot themselves in the foot saying that, it's going to be really, 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 really hard. You got to do all the hard work yourself. We're just here to support you a little bit. And on the other end, but the city can also say, like, we said we're a startup support. It doesn't mean we're the main